guys, what's going on? My name is Remy. I'm back here. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I speak personal development, personal finance, the two topics we get your mind right and we get your money right, all in one place. Today's video is going to be geared more towards personal finance, but if you're here for personal development, I advise you to stick along to this video as well. The two topics intertwine more than you think they do, so that's why I've combined them here. Today's video is 5 steps to financial freedom. So I'm going to take you through these 5 steps, give you a little bit of insight, give you a little bit more perspective, something to think about, some new angles that you may not have considered in the past. So I'm going to get into this video. Thank you guys for tuning in. I just want to say that although I'm not a financial advisor, I do have some perspectives to share with you that I think could help. And I want to preface the video by saying the reason I speak about money and the reason, it's one of the topics that I'm always talking about, I'm always advising you guys about, is because money is the medium of exchange in life right now. The money can put you places and do things in your life that make it more easy, more enjoyable, more comfortable, put you in a position of power. So for those reasons, I want your relationship with money to be excellent. I want you and money to have a great relationship. I'm going to play wingman for you right now, because the stronger your understanding of what money can do for you, I believe the better off you are. And until you understand the true power of what money can do for you, I fear you're up against the odds. So this video will hopefully open your mind to a few new topics around money, creating wealth, earning potential, things like that. So put yourself in a position to earn, because like I mentioned, I know there's more to life than finance and money and stuff like that. It certainly is an important part of life, and that's only going to get increasingly more important as you grow older, as time goes by, and as we continue on our journeys here. So the first step in creating financial freedom is to utilize your skills, your natural abilities, and your education. That's kind of obvious, right? Like, why wouldn't you do things that you're good at to make money? Because newsflash, everybody, newsflash, life is a results-based business. So the best performers, the top performers, they make the most, they get the most respect, they get rewarded the highest. The people that perform, that show up, that show out, they get the money, they get the accolades, they get the rewards. So the more skill you have, the more money, theoretically, you can make utilizing that skill. If you can create or find a space where that skill is valued. So this is essentially setting yourself up for success by putting yourself in a position where you know you're able to succeed, you're comfortable, you're utilizing your skills. It sounds like a pretty good spot, right? So why do people not put themselves in that position on a daily basis? Why don't people put themselves in this for their whole professional careers? So my wish for you is that you're able to dictate and call the shots in your occupation, in your profession, in whatever you do to make money. You should be the one calling the shots, or at least have a say in, what you're doing. Now this may be a problem because right now, let's say you're working a job that isn't necessarily challenging you, you don't feel like you're utilizing all your skills, you feel like you could be doing something better, you feel like you're not reaching your full potential. That could be an issue, because if you're stuck in this job that you're doing, or if you're stuck earning money, however you're earning money, and it's a way that isn't fulfilling to you, you'll have these feelings, or you may have these feelings of inadequacy, or just that, you should be doing something else. And that's not a good feeling to have day in and day out, like, okay, I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now. Like, that's just not a good feeling to have for a prolonged period of time. But as I mentioned before, the better you are at something, the more you can charge, the more you can negotiate your pay, the more you're worth. So whether you're working for yourself or you're working for another person, I recommend you utilize those skills. Because when you're utilizing your skills, you're doing something you're good at, so you're going to want to do more of it. You're going to be excited to get up. You're going to be excited, relatively, to get up and go to work. So you're playing to your strengths, which is something that everyone likes to do. Everyone likes to be put in a position to win and then go out and win. And that's what I'm advising you to do, is to put yourself in a position where your natural skills are utilized, right? So if you're a person who hates talking to people, you hate seeing people, talking to people, don't, be a cashier or customer service, anyone forward facing in a company. That's just a bad spot to put yourself in, and a spot that you're probably not going to like, a spot you're probably going to have to work really hard to be good at. Instead of trying to fit into a spot that you don't fit, find yourself or put yourself in a situation where your skills, abilities, and just you as a person are appreciated, because that's going to drive you that much more. That's when things are going to really start happening. So step number 1, just to recap, is utilize your skills, natural talents, education, abilities, all these things that are at your disposal that you should be using. So Like I said, life is a performance-based business. The best performers get paid the best, get the most accolades, get the most rewards. So put yourself in a position to become those top performer. So put yourself in a position to become that top performer, perform at the highest level, and get compensated as such. Step number 2 to financial freedom is to add value. So the fastest way to cement yourself in any marketplace, any organization, any group of people is to add value. So the bigger the problems you can solve and the more people that have those problems, the more value you add and the more valuable you become. Once people depend on you for adding that value, you can leverage that into more opportunities, more earnings, more potential. A quick example of this would be someone who's been at a company for a long time. They're really skilled in what they do, and they may have a little bit more leeway than everyone else just because the company is so dependent on their skill and all the things that they bring to the table. Their rules are just different because they're a high performer. That individual has made themselves valuable and people depend on them. So do you understand how you can leverage that? Do you see how you can leverage that? Yes, great. Step number 3 for obtaining financial freedom is to multiply your efforts. So if you've been around this space at all, if you've done any research or looked around, personal finance or people like me who talk about these topics, you've probably heard the saying that the average millionaire has 7 streams of income. And everyone's saying, you need to create more streams of income. You need to make more ways to make money. You need to become an Uber driver, deliver groceries. You're saying, listen, pal, I know all this. Okay, that's fine. You've heard the quote, that's good. I'm saying multiply your efforts. You're thinking, how am I supposed to do that, right? I have one income right now. I have one way to make money. I don't think of it as a stream of income because it's my only income. How am I supposed to get 7 of those? What does that even mean? Why should I care? That's fair. And if you knew, you wouldn't be watching this video of me talking about financial freedom. So, stick around. A way to multiply your efforts is to codify your knowledge and make it available, offer it to other people. So that could be creating a course, writing a book, blogging, vlogging, flogging, just offering your knowledge or your expertise in a way that other people can consume it. You codify it once, so you write that book, you do that one time, and then thousands of people all across the world in the future, right now, can get it for a price. Another way to multiply your efforts is to get paid on your results and your performance rather than your time. So if you're an hourly worker right now, I would recommend or advise you to find other ways to make money. Because if you're always paid for your hours, there's only so far you can go with that. So you work, let's say 10 hours, you get paid 10x, whatever x is. X will only go up a certain amount of times, you can only ask for a raise so many times, you're only going to get a raise so many times. So that direction, that X, 10x is tricky. So I want you to create more sources of income by getting paid more for your results and your performance than your hours. I guess the best way I can break this down is that the more apple trees you have, the more apples you'll have. So the more systems you can create and the more places, pieces you can put in place to be earning, to have the potential for you to earn, the better. The more channels of money coming in, the more you kickstart that process of becoming financially stable and, freeing up time, freeing up your life. Being bad with money or being poor doesn't make you a bad person or a fool, but staying bad with money and staying poor, that makes you foolish. If that's upsetting to you, then you really need to keep watching this video and probably rewind it, watch it back. Step number 4 for financial freedom is to prepare for the worst. And this is pretty relevant right now because, like I said, if you've read any blogs about personal finance, listen to anyone else talk about personal finance, something that comes up very often and something you probably heard more times than you care to hear more times or want to even listen to one more time is having an emergency fund of whatever it is, 3 months, 6 months, a certain amount of $1,000, having that saved up for times of need, times of emergency, times like right now where people are out of work, people are dependent on, assistance and aid to stay afloat. These are the times that you saved for. I recommend also preparing mentally for the worst, because if you prepare mentally for the worst and think about all the things that could happen, when something bad happens, difficult times come or you're faced with a really difficult obstacle, you won't be devastated by that reality and, you won't waste time, you won't waste effort or energy, feeling bad for yourself or emotionally responding if you've already, played this out in your mind. You're already prepared for what's going to happen. It's already kind of happened to you mentally, so you're ready for it, and you're not in a position where you're devastated. By practicing this negative visualization, you'll just be better prepared mentally and financially for when, bad times come, and they are coming. It's just part of the deal. You signed up for this. It's part of the deal. Step number 5 for obtaining financial freedom is to figure out what financial freedom means to you. So things like success, failure, opportunity, freedom, they mean a different thing for every different person. So they're really relative. They represent different things for different people. So what is financial freedom? Is it being able to retire 10 years early? Is it buying a ski boat? Being able to work, doing something you love and not really worrying about the money? Is it jetting off to some private island, eating scallops and shrimp? Whatever your idea of financial freedom is, I would identify that in your mind, be aware of what that is, and I would actually write it down, put it to paper, because that's a step I feel like a lot of people forget when they set goals and they want all these things, they want to achieve all these things. If you don't write it down or don't have attainable steps that you see, okay, I did this, this is what happened, I'm getting closer. Like I know I'm getting closer because this has happened. It can be difficult to stay the course, when you're not seeing results. And a good example of this is when someone says, okay, I want to lose 20 pounds in 90 days. So they start exercising, they start weight training, they start doing all these things to lose that weight. And let's say every week they step on the scale, they can see their weight is going down. So that person is motivated, they're more likely to stay the course and keep exercising, keep on their regimen, keep on their diet, because they can see the results happening right in front of them. They see that each week the numbers going down on the scale. It'd be a different story if you were doing all this work and you couldn't see the results until the end. You couldn't see your progress to get to the end. That would take a lot more discipline and a lot more mental toughness to stay the course. So identify what financial freedom means to you, and I advise you write it down. Have these key indications of, okay, I'm doing well. I just saved 20 grand. I just saved $2,000. I just saved $200 even. Something you can check off, something you can look at and see, did I do this? Did I not do this? Check mark, X mark. Having these things that you can identify as yes or no. That helps you out. That's going to help you out in, identifying what financial freedom means to you. So that's 5. Run this back if you need to. I advise you run it back anyway, just because. Thank you guys for watching. I hope everyone's safe and healthy and positive. I'll be back soon. I know I say that, but I actually will be back soon. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.